Good evening and welcome to all of you. I would like to thank everyone who has joined us here this evening to celebrate the graduation of West Leyden High School's class of 2021. At this time, I would like to politely request that we all silence our cell phones. And before we get started this evening, it would be important to acknowledge and honor those who are no longer here with us this evening. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor our loved ones, including one of our very own class of 2020 graduate, David Przybos. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I would like to ask you to help me welcome Gianna Cabrera, a senior at West Leyden, who started off this crazy year singing to everyone virtually and is ending the year singing tonight the same song in person. Please rise and join us for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regaled, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Jenna, for this amazing performance. We're so thankful you joined us tonight. Please be seated. Good evening and welcome. My name is Patricia Makishima, and I'm the proud principal of West Leyden High School. The class of 2021 joins West Leyden High School in thanking Mayor Bradley Stevens, the Village of Rosemont, George Theo from the Allstate Arena, and Ms. Ed Bello from the Rosemont Theater. Their collective effort and collaboration has allowed us to hold our in-person commencement ceremony tonight in what is truly a unique and world-class facility in this one-in-a-lifetime event. Thank you for allowing us to provide our graduates as close to a normal commencement ceremony experience as possible. As a principal of West Leyden High School, it is an honor and privilege to continue to serve all our students, this amazing class of 2021, our remarkable faculty and staff and families, and our exceptional community. I'd like to take a moment to address our Polish and Spanish-speaking families, so please bear with me for a minute. Buenas noches a todos, estudiantes, padres y familias. Gracias por estar aquí esta noche. Desafortunadamente no voy a poder dar mi discurso en los dos idiomas. Solamente les quería decir que es un honor servir a ustedes y a sus hijos y hijas como directora, y estamos muy agradecidos por su apoyo, dedicación y colaboración. Estamos todos muy orgullosos de nuestros estudiantes de la clase de 2021. Dobry wieczór, uczniowie, rodzice i rodziny. Dziękuję wam, że tutaj dzisiaj jesteście. Niestety nie będę mogła wygłosić, bo nie mówię po polsku. Powiem wam tylko, że jest to dla mnie honor służyć wam i państwa dzieciom jako dyrektorka. Bardzo wam dziękuję za pomoc, danie oraz współpracę. Jesteśmy dumni z naszej klasy 2021. We stand here tonight, together as a family, in person, after 1.5 years of being apart, to celebrate and acknowledge each one of our graduates. And wow, can't believe we're here at the All-State Arena, and I'm standing on stage looking at all of your radiant faces. The energy, enthusiasm, and excitement is almost palpable. To our families and friends who've joined us tonight, I thank you for being here. For those who could not join us in person but are watching this event in our live stream, thank you for tuning in. We are so glad to have all of you celebrating such an important day. Before I address the class of 2021, I would also like to thank our district administration, our superintendent, Dr. Nick Poliak, our building administration, and our Board of Education. We are extremely fortunate to work alongside these individuals who dedicate their time and energy to providing our students with their best educational experiences. Many of our faculty and staff have joined us here tonight to celebrate our graduates. Could you all please stand? Faculty? Thank you. We're slowly returning to some sense of normalcy, but I'd like to point out that we all have witnessed how our West Leyden faculty and staff have reinvented themselves throughout these challenging times and have continued to work tirelessly to connect with students and prepare them for the future, for this challenging world, and for this moment right now. Their passion for what they do is commendable, and they truly embody our district's motto of what's best for kids. We appreciate that what they do every and each day, and thank them for being here tonight to celebrate this great evening with their graduates and their families. I would also like to honor two special members of our school family who together as faculty have dedicated 51 years of service at Leyden and will be graduating along with the class of 2021. Mr. Cam Jackson, a counselor and coach. Yes, there you go. All right. A counselor and coach who supported our students throughout his 31 years at West. Thank you for all you've done, Mr. Jackson. We greatly miss you. Dr. Rob Pichkowski, a science teacher, dedicated and passionate. We are thankful for all he's done for our students and families in his 20 years at Leyden. We'll miss you both immensely. Parents, guardians, and families, you have trusted us with your most precious and valuable gifts, your kids, and for that we thank you. We thank you for your continued support, dedication, partnership, patience, and countless hours of supporting. You have raised amazing sons and daughters, and you should be very proud of these amazing young men and women. And now West Leyden High School graduating class of 2021. This past year and a half has been challenging, as we all know. I know this has impacted each one of you. Although some of you attended in-person classes this past semester 2 or 4 days a week, others stayed remote. Some of you participated in sports, others in clubs, activities, and many of you joined us for our hybrid award ceremonies, our senior send-off event, and our drive-through graduation parade. However, all this was far from the traditional senior year experience. Throughout these challenging times, you've been tested, and you did not lose your focus, your determination, your power, and energy. You kept going. You've shown your resilience and strength. You have shown to be a lot more resilient and more resourceful than we could ever imagine. The fact that you're standing here tonight is a proof of that. Building resilience is not always about teaching you to be successful. Building resilience is oftentimes teaching you what to do when you're not successful or when things don't seem to go your way. The word resilience means the ability to adapt and grow following adversity. I'd like to focus on the words adapt and grow because they truly represent what you've had to do this past year and a half. Adapt and grow. All this time, you've been learning how to roll with the punches, adapt and grow to new challenges and situations that have arisen. I hope that you will never forget the lessons you've learned this past year and a half. You are gaining a unique perspective, and with it, an opportunity to be agents of change like the world has never seen. You are true Leyden Eagles who, despite all uncertainty and challenges, have demonstrated excellence, service, and unity throughout your 4 years as West Leyden, and I'm sure you will make the world a much better place. So, graduating class of 2021, before I conclude my remarks, I'd like to provide you with some words of wisdom as you step forward into the world. Work for a cause, not for applause. Live life to express, not to impress. Don't strive to make your presence noticed, just make your absence felt. If you fail, never give up, because fail means first attempt in learning. End is not the end. End means effort never dies. And lastly, if you ever get a no for an answer, remember that no means next opportunity. Be positive, class of 2021. You now get to be the author of your own life, write your own story. Thank you. Thank you for being our future. Thank you for the years of effort that you've gotten you where you are here. Thank you for your commitment and dedication to becoming all that you have become and what you will be. It has been an honor and privilege to walk beside you in your journey, even if remotely, to where you stand today. So carry on, class of 2021. You are our future, and it's going to be bright. Class of 2021, on behalf of the West Leyden administration, faculty, and staff, it has been truly an honor and a privilege to have worked alongside you for the last 4 years. Congratulations, West Leyden Eagles. We're very proud of each one and every one of you. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our superintendent, Dr. Nick Poliak.
Good evening. On behalf of the Leyden School Board, administration, faculty, and staff, I'd like to welcome all of you to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2021. Months ago, or even weeks ago, we weren't sure what these graduation ceremonies would look like. Would they be virtual? Would they be outside? Would they even happen at all? We kept coming back to the faces of these kids, at least the top half of their faces, and we thought, if anyone deserves a real graduation, it's the class of 2021. We're here tonight to celebrate each and every one of you. Normally, my graduation speech highlights the stories of 3 members of the graduating class. This year is different. This year has been very different. As you move forward today, you will take with you the lessons your teachers, coaches, sponsors, and others have provided. And I'm not talking about your math and English and art lessons. I'm talking about the life lessons everyone has provided. You'll move forward with your reputation and with your name. Now, when you grow up like me with a name like Nick Poliak, no one has ever met someone with that same name. Everything I say and everything I do has impacted what people think of me, and all of that comes back to the Poliak name. The same is true and will continue to be true for each of you. I want to share a story tonight about another person who lived his life in the Midwest of the United States. His name is Bill Gaither. Bill and his wife Gloria were teachers in Alexandria, Indiana. They were looking for a piece of land where they could settle down and raise a family. They found a beautiful parcel of land that belonged to a 92-year-old retired banker named Mr. Ewell. Mr. Ewell told everyone that land would only be used for cattle to graze. Bill and his wife met with Mr. Ewell to ask about buying the property, and he said, "Not selling. I promised that land to the farmers so their cows can graze." Bill explained that he and his wife were teachers, and they wanted to settle down in the area and raise their family. Mr. Ewell said, "What's your name again?" And when Bill answered, Mr. Ewell asked, "Are you related to a Grover Gaither?" Bill answered, "Yes, he's my grandfather." Mr. Ewell looked over the top of his glasses and said, "Grover Gaither was the best worker I ever had working that land. A full day's work for a full day's pay. So honest." He told Bill to come back and see him later that week. When Bill returned, he sat down and held his breath. Mr. Ewell said he had had the property appraised. How does $3,800 sound to you? Bill thought that there were 15 acres, and that would be almost $60,000. Mr. Ewell quickly corrected him. "No, that's $3,800 for all 15 acres." Bill quickly accepted the offer and bought the property. Now, 3 decades later, 30 years later, Bill and his son walked that land, and he told his son, "You had this wonderful place to grow up due to nothing that you've done, but because of the good name of a great-grandfather you never met." I want you to think about that story. As each of you graduate tonight, you're here because of what was done by so many people before you. Maybe it was decisions made by your parents, your grandparents, or your guardians. Maybe it was the influence of your teachers, your coaches, or other role models. And certainly it was due to your hard work and effort over the past 18 years. But it does not end there. You will now take your name and carry it forward. The decisions you make in the life that you lead after Leyden will have a direct impact on your children, your grandchildren, and generations to come. Protect your name, make decisions, and lead your life in a way that will make your family and your school proud. When you do that, I guarantee you'll find happiness and success. When people talk about schools in this pandemic, they often use the term learning loss. I think that's the wrong way of thinking. None of you lost any learning over the past year. That was thanks to the hard work of you and the hard work of so many adults here at Leyden and in your homes. You did learn differently. You did learn resiliency. You did learn how to take care of others and to help support your families. Ultimately, you learned that school is not a building. Learning is not confined to physical walls. School is really a collection of experiences and relationships. Your version of school has been very different than those before you, but I think you will actually be better for it. You are the smartest, strongest, and most well-prepared Eagles to ever cross our graduation stage. Speaking on behalf of all of us at Leyden, to all of our graduates tonight, it's been an honor to be part of your life. As you move forward today, you have another name that goes with you. You are a Leyden Eagle. Go change the world and take care of that good name as well. We are all so proud of you today. We wish you nothing but the best in your lives. And remember, no matter where you go and no matter what you do, you will always be a Leyden Eagle. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Poliak. Now presenting our commencement addresses are two outstanding top 10 students. Jacob Drawl, our salutatorian, followed by Jeremy Bowie, our valedictorian.
Good evening. Class of 2021, welcome and congratulations. You have made it through one of the toughest years of your life. Facing abnormal circumstances, you have held your own and are ready to move on. We are here to celebrate and enjoy all the hard work we have put in during these past 4 years. In 2017, on a warm August day, we were all huddled together by the main entrance. Unsure of what awaited us, we entered West Leyden full of fear, joy, and nervousness. Many of us were afraid of being pennied or being shoved into lockers by the upperclassmen. Yet looking back at it, nothing of that sort really happened to us. Since then, we have each found our own callings. Looking at everyone here, I see artists, athletes, mathematicians, accountants, lawyers, and many more. Looking back at this previous year, we didn't have a typical junior and senior year. Facing an unprecedented pandemic, we stayed strong. Many of us were looking forward to chanting "Go Home Freshmen" during Junior Olympics or dancing the night away at prom. Even though we couldn't do those things, we tried our best to have a sense of normalcy. We adapted to learning from home and trying to find doses of sociality wherever we could. Such a willingness to change with the circumstances will serve us well in the future. But most importantly, we have learned that not everything will turn out the way we want. We have come a long way, but there's more to come in our lives. Thank you.
Good evening. Firstly, I would like to express my gratitude towards my parents for setting an example of what perseverance and sacrifice look like. I will never forget those third grade nights where they forced me to learn my multiplication tables before bedtime, to those continuous rise to practices, and to taking those extra overtime shifts while still parenting. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Also, I can't forget to thank my friends and siblings for molding me into the individual I am today. Well, graduates, our journey as West Leyden Eagles has not been a breeze, especially in the past year and a half. We've all entered this global pandemic together, but we'll all depart with differing stories. In your own journey, you may perceive that every imperfect event was a product of your actions. Keep in mind, though, similar to the very angry grape, Thanos being inevitable, so is our inadequate control in life's events. As humans, it is our natural instinct to beat ourselves up over things we worry about, controllable or not. We focus more on the negatives than the positives. And I've got to admit, sometimes it may be hard to ignore the negatives, such as Caillou recently getting removed from PBS Kids. However, today, I would also like to shed light on some of the positive aspects that have happened during quarantine. For example, the extra amount of time we had with shortened classes, around 630 hours, the sweet stimulus checks, and the freedom to multitask, Zoom University while on our cell phones. Although quarantine might have potentially been the best or the worst chapter in your life, time is a factor we will never get back. Imagine this. Decades from now, when you're sitting on a rocking chair, reflecting on your life, something comes to mind. It's regret. The regret of never doing the thing you really wish you had done. These goals and actions you didn't pursue could be due to laziness, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, or the fear of judgment. But it's too late. It's decades from now. You're no longer physically capable to fulfill these goals. Newsflash, it's not decades from now. It's just an imagination. You're not sitting on a rocking chair. Luckily, you, me, us, we are still young. We are all astronomically blessed to still have our hearts beating. To date, we have endured a global pandemic, maybe figured out that dress was blue or gold, and survived a creepy 2016 clown invasion. So as time ticks by, continue to be that audacious warrior and attempt the things your future self would thank you for. Tweeted by the Wizard of Bars and very favorable 2024 presidential candidate Kanye West, echoed, "Stop looking for something to beat and just be." And from this historical saying, I'm not promoting the idea of just sitting back and kicking your legs up your whole life. In fact, innovation in the past and the future has not and will not be compelled from non-risk takers. Growing up in an age of endless opportunities, it would be a literal waste not to take advantage of them. I'm an adamant believer that every individual here will have a lasting effect on our world, small or big. But the size of the imprint you leave is dictated by the actions you perform each and every day. So when the failures you encountered, head back to the old drawing board and excel beyond that barrier. However, tying back to what Sir Kanye expressed, still live your life. Don't take every failure too seriously. This is also conveyed perfectly by Chinese philosopher Confucius, stating, "You have two lives, and the second one begins when you realize you have one." So go take those risks, go chase your dream job, go travel across the country, go venture the unknown, and lastly, go smile. Life is too short to be unhappy. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Those are two really tough acts to follow. Good job. While we were unable to have our chamber singers join us in person this evening, we still felt it was important to honor a long-standing Leyden tradition and share this wonderful gift of music with you all. For the next few minutes, we are proud to present "This Day," sung by our very own Leyden Choir.
Once it has vanished, it will not
And now for the presentation of the class of 2021 to the Board of Education, our principal, Mrs. Patricia Makashima.
Thank you, Mr. Sharrows. Mr. Gnafo, it is, oh, I forgot, I can take it off. Mr. Gnafo, it is with great pleasure that I assure you that the members of the class of 2021 seated before us have met the requirements as established by the Board of Education and are eligible to receive the diplomas. So for the acceptance now of the class, the President of the Board, Greg Gnafo.
I'm just happy to come up here to take my mask off. Congratulations, class of 2021. It is an honor and privilege for me to be here tonight. This is an exciting time as we celebrate another milestone in the lives of these fine young men and women, Leyden's newest alumni. They are our Leyden pride. And speaking of Leyden pride, I'd like to acknowledge the class of 2020. Like the class of 2021, they are a group who knows how to make the very best out of any situation. Congratulations, class of 2020. We know that you are doing remarkable things. And before I go any further, as a very special thank you to Rosemont Mayor Bradley Stevens, also a Leyden alum. Weeks ago, when we were considering using the football field for graduation to satisfy occupancy limitations, we contacted Mayor Stevens for his assistance for something more meaningful. His response? Take a look around you. Thank you, Mayor Stevens. Graduation is a time to look back and to look forward. So let's take a brief moment to look forward. I would imagine that when family and friends and relatives congratulated you on your achievement, it was immediately followed with, what's next? A fair question they asked the 382 West Leyden graduates. And the answer is, anything you want. Anything you are willing to set a goal for, anything you are willing to work towards, and anything you are willing to sacrifice for. You know, what you did the last 4 years that brought you here tonight. And always remember that you did not get here alone, which brings us to looking back. So let's take a look at those who have impacted your lives, those who have had a hand in forming your character. Some have been alongside you since birth, some you have come to know at Leyden, and some you have never met. But each has played an essential role in your lives. Leyden encourages our students to dream the dream, provides them with the tools and the opportunity to live the dream. But there are only a few who have stood up and defended the dream. Would all those here who have worn our country's uniform please stand so that me may take the opportunity to thank you for your service. Army, Marines, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, any members of the military here, please stand so we could recognize you. Thank you. You make this all possible. And please remember that Monday, May 31st, is Memorial Day, a day to remember those who have given their lives in the defense of freedom, including several of our own Leyden alumni. And a very special thank you to the community's first responders. They are on the front line every single day, protecting us and keeping us safe. Would all the first responders, police, fire, and especially Officer John Pasoli, please stand so that we may thank you. All our first responders. Thank you. Along with several thank yous, graduation is also a time to say goodbye. Cassandra Diaz, where are you out here? Please stand. Where is Cassandra? Hi, Cassandra. Last August, Cassandra and Amanda Lee from East were sworn in as Leyden student board members. Through their participation in school events, attendance at board meetings, their many other commitments, Cassandra and Amanda brought your voice to the highest level of decision making. When the Board of Education needs to make a decision about what's best for kids, we turn to Cassandra and Amanda for their input. They have represented you very well. Thank you, Cassandra, for your commitment to Leyden, the long hours, your valuable insight and collaboration. We will miss you. Graduates, the rest of the people that I will acknowledge have one single common purpose, and that is to provide you with the best possible high school education with abundance of quality experiences for you to grow physically, academically, and emotionally. Remember, if it wasn't for you, the student, Leyden High School simply would not exist. In years past, I found myself rushing towards the end of my remarks, sensing that the graduates didn't want to hear anything else I had to say, and they wanted to get on with walking across the stage. So I hear you. So this year, to make certain that those who had been noted towards the end of my remarks received just as much attention, I'm taking things a bit out of order. For the past 14 months, there have been nothing normal about the last 14 months. No matter what to call, they were there collectively, collaboratively, from the abundance of food preparation to the delivery of food, to building maintenance, to transportation, to organizing the building for vaccinations, and everything in between. A very special thank you to Randy Olinsky, Building Grounds Supervisor, and your staff, Elizabeth Kajawa, Food Service Supervisor, your staff, Kim Cropper, Transportation Supervisor, and your staff, the entire Leyden support staff, security staff, and aides. Remarkable just doesn't cover it. Thank you. Also, a shout out to Brian Weiner, Director of Technology, and his staff. Leyden was uniquely positioned to adapt to full remote learning due to the years of preparation by Brian and his team. While other districts, state and national, struggled on the basics, Leyden continued to excel in the delivery of technology and adapt to challenges as seamlessly as possible. Thank you, Brian. Well done. There are many others who work tirelessly for the success of Leyden students. We believe that Leyden High Schools provides the best possible education for our students with a wide variety of opportunities, and each individual student has unique talents, and those unique talents need to be identified, nurtured, and honed. And although they are small in numbers, their impact is immense. Leyden High Schools enjoys the best team of administrators in any school district anywhere. Administrators, thank you for your vision, passion, and your consistent vigil over our most precious asset, our kids. Thank you, administrators. So I've been out of high school for 47 years, and I can still remember many of my high school teachers. I can remember them because they had such an impact on my life. And it wasn't until I got a bit older that I was able to truly see that my teachers, like yours, made a commitment to providing me with the very best educational opportunities. I remember feeling their frustration when I didn't perform as I should have, their encouragement, guidance, and patience as they worked with me to achieve my goals, and their pride when I succeeded. I remember them like you remember your teachers because they made a commitment to not just the student, but to you on a personal level. Ladies and gentlemen, in the back of the room and surrounding us is the West Leyden faculty. Would the faculty please stand and take another bow? Thank you. Well done. Thank you, faculty. And Leyden wouldn't be Leyden if it wasn't for all the volunteers, those loyal eagles who consistently give their time, talents, and resources so young men and women like these graduates can have extra opportunities. Thank you to our volunteers. Last, and certainly not least, a very special thank you to your neighbors, the taxpayers. We are very grateful that the Leyden community continues to support the innovative programs for the betterment of our students. Thank you, taxpayers. Graduates, while a thank you is nice and appreciated, I can tell you with certainty that what is truly desired of you is that you lead happy, healthy, and productive lives, that you remember how you were helped, and that you continue to help others. To the families of these new Leyden alumni, thank you for allowing us to be part of their lives. We share with you the commitment to excellence for their success, and I hope that we have met and exceeded your expectations. Mrs. Makajima, Dr. Poliak, on behalf of the Board of Education, it is with an abundance of Leyden pride that I accept these fine young men and women as Leyden High School's newest alumni, the West Leyden class of 2021. They bring honor to themselves, their family, and the entire Leyden community. Thank you.
So this is a moment we're waiting for. Class, prepare for graduation. Presenting the diplomas this evening, we have two of our board members, Ms. Lisa Anthony and Ms. Joseph Trevino.
Our readers are Mr. Richard Drobny and Ms. Martha Martinez. Assisting with tonight's graduation ceremony are 4 students from the class of 2022, Jeffrey Cisneros, Daniel Lechuga, Sitlali Rangel, and Jocelyn Rodriguez.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you West Leyden's class of 2021 top 10 students. Jeremy Bowie, Jacob Mateusz Drall, Brandon Miłduszewski, Maximilian Saucedo, Jocelyn Pirueta, Jan del Campos Armedilla, Pavel Sarvinsky, Ivan Garcia, Solibel Murillo, Sandra Tamayo, Destiny Adele Niles, Miguel Ángel Águila, Daniel Abraham Aguilar, Uriel Álamo, Ashley Damaris Alatorre Santos, Cassidy Amber Allen, Nadeline Álvarez, Víctor Humberto Alviso Orozco, Rosario Aragón, Adán Argomanis Villalpando, Julián José Arias, Julián Mauricio Arreguín Méndez, Giovanni Francesco Areola, Brianna Avery, Diana Jocelyn Avina, Daniela Ayala, Janet Ayala, Ricardo Baena, Gil Alberto Baena Salgado, Julián Alexander Balboa, Destiny Yailin Barbosa, Ashley Elizabeth Barron, Kimberly Barron, José Luis Becerra, Jesslyn Beltrán, Jenny Blas, Anthony Michael Borsuski, Matthew Donovan Braxton, Jessica Brito, Rodrigo Bueno, Marilyn Butrón, Marlene Butrón, Melvin Cabral, Patricia Cabral, Caitlin Cabrera, Guadalupe Cabrera, Justin Calderón Arriaza, Fernando Camarillo, Jonathan Campos, Anthony Cano, Sofía Adriana Cano, Jeremy Elmer Cárdenas, Alex Carpena, Laura Carreño, Yolanda Carreño, Mariela Carrera, Olivia Carrera, Natalie Carrillo, Jennifer Castillo, Yaslin Castillo Valles, Saúl Celedón, Joana Chaires, Michael Chan, Daniela Chavarría, Alan Chávez, Citlali Chávez, Jonathan Andrew Chávez, Eldwin Chavira, Fernando Chévez, Andrés José Cifuentes Funes, Darius Damante Sirton, Emily Lou Collier, Gamaliel Colón Vázquez, Ángela Liliana Contreras, Dayana Contreras López, Cristian Alexander Corral, Miranda Corral, Grace Kelly Castatino, Itzel Crespo, Brian J. Croco, Jillian Olivia Davis, Danielle De Gracia, Lisbeth de Jesús, Kevin de la Rosa, Eliazar de Santiago, Tania del Toro, Alana Marie de la Rosa, Isaías Delgado, Matthew John de Luna, Damaris Lynn del Valle, Nicholas James de Marco, Brianne Elizabeth Deutscher, Abigail Diaz, Adrián Díaz, Alberto Alexis Díaz, Alexis Díaz, Cassandra Díaz, Elmer Díaz, Fernanda Díaz, Janely Isel Díaz, Osaira Díaz, Dalia Rubí Díaz Brito, Elijah Alexander Diblich, Andy Didovich, Tyler Joseph Dixon, Eric Dolgich, Brittany Jodine Doyle, Nicole Dueñas, José Guadalupe Durán, Talia El Barbarawi, David Elizararas, Briana Fernanda Erazo, Keith Allen Esborsten, Litney Escalante, Eduardo Escobedo Morones, Matthew Roy Espinosa, Vanessa Espinosa Merino, Emanuel Estrada, Diego Carlos Feliciano, Jose Manuel Ferrell, Anayelo Joseph Fico, Corey Joseph Finnegan, Jason Firoito, Cassandra Dorali Flores, Ryan Joseph Flores, Destiny Adriana Ford Davis, Talia Fragoso, Emily Fragoso, Giovanni Fragoso, Elizabeth Fragoso Cano, Ángel Daniel Franco Villeda, Cristian Fuentes, Kiara Fuentes, Ashley Galeno, Luis Fernando Gamboa, Randall Gamboa, Kristen Garcia, Denise Garcia, Eduardo Garcia, Fátima Garcia, Fernando Garcia, Israel Jesús Garcia, Jesús Garcia, Jocelyn Garcia, Jonathan Garcia, Jonathan Garcia, Raudel Garcia, Samuel Garcia, Alexis Garcia Corona, Zulay Carla Garcia Gaona, Janet Garcia Rodríguez, Luis Garduño, Gabriel Alexander Gaitán, Carl Dominic Kineski, Anaid Godínez, Javier Daniel Godínez, José Gómez, Melanie Mirta Gómez, Pablo Gómez, Robert Gómez, Vanessa Gómez, Christopher Casimirish Gomulka, Crystal Gonzalez, Derek Gonzalez, Giangelo Gonzalez, Giovanni Manuel Gonzalez, Joel Gonzalez, Juan Carlos Gonzalez, Lennox David Gonzalez, Emilio González Cervantes, Yaneira Paula Granados, Arlene Granda, Adam Jordan Guerrero, Lorenz Joseph Guerrero Jr., Ashley Guevara, Carlos Gutierrez Gómez, Alessandro Guzmán, Arturo Guzmán, Mariana Guzmán Hernández, Celia Elizabeth Hansen Espinosa,
Jenna Ray Harden, Timothy Michael Harris, Brenda Hernandez, Oscar Hernandez, Jocelyn Hernández Díaz de León, Bianca Sofía Herrera, Cristal Herrera, Joshua Herrera, Sebastian Paul Hoym, Adrián Gaspar Hurtado, Carlos Antonio Hurtado Duarte, Kathy Jang Win, Eric Ricardo Izquierdo, Angélica Marie Jacobson, Alexander Michael Janateus, Haley Marie Janus, Molly Cirielda Mies Cash, Olivia Camila Cava, Jennifer Lauren Kelly, Lauren Quinn Kincaid, Patrick Kogut, Milena Eva Kopek, Brandon James Cricky, Patrick Thomas Ziacek, Evelyn Lagunas, Jamie Gabriel Lievsky, Leslie Lara, Yadira Lara, Tiana Ariel Leachman, John Anthony Leiva, Jennifer Katie Lemus, Juan Enrique Lecardi, Alexa Stephanie Lopez, Jonathan Fernando Enrique López Tique, Brian Luna Carreño, Brittany Elizabeth Maldonado, Mary Grace Malinowski, Alejandro Mandujano, Diego Maravilla, Alejandra Marcos, Isael Marín, Andrew Marroquín, Brian Martínez, Emily Zenaida Martínez, Aidí Naidelín Martínez, Isaac Leonardo Martínez, Jonathan Ismael Martínez, Jocelyn Alía Martínez, Maricruz Martínez, Juliana Martínez Durán, Cristian José Martínez Salas, Adrián Alejandro Medina, Leslie Erin Meléndez, André Sebastián Mencos Díaz, Esteban Méndez, Salvador Méndez Martínez, David Mendiola Mandujano, Julián Mendoza, Miriam Natalí Mendoza, Alexis Merino, Jesús Gabriel Mesa, Gianmarco Millán, Nicholas James Miller, Eric Miranda, Gabriel Mireles, Jonathan Mojica, Jaden Isaía Molina, Emily Monarres, Gina Marie Monegain, Benjamín Mora, Brandon Morales, Kenneth Blake Morataya Girón, Betsy Yvonne Moreno, Gabriel Alexis Moreno, Joaquín Moreno, Berenice Moreno Sánchez, Isabel Regina Morgan, Raymond Lee Muncy Jr., Daniel Muñoz, Jazmín Muñoz, Isaac Elías Nambo, Franco Alexander Novielli, César Núñez, Daryl Núñez, Kizito Izuna Nawawa, Jason Patrick O'Donnell, Melvin Ocampo, Celeste Ochoa, Perla Ojeda, Christopher David Olexi. Stephen Joseph Olexi. Ismael Olmos. José Eduardo Olmos. Sandra Paola Ordaz Holguín. Vivian Lisbeth Orozco. Edgar Orozco Salas. Emily Ortiz. Genesis Ortiz Hermida. Alexandra Cheyenne Owens. Daniela Padilla. Kevin Padilla. Olivia Victoria Payer. Jesús Damián Palma. Juliana Pastrana. Shivani Paresh Patel. Daniel Pérez. Isaía Pérez. Janet Pichardo. Javier Piña Saldaña. Juliana Taisha Portillo Palencia. Bárbara Poshwushny. Stanley Poswushny. Harry Presa. Dominic Pribble. Olivia Ana Pichibush. DeAndre Dionisio Quintana. Yadira Quintana. Yasmín Ramírez. Michael Guillermo Ramírez. Miguel de Jesús Ramírez. Ángela Ramírez Flores. Juliana Ramírez Olivares. Michaela Ramos. Jesús Reséndez. Kaylee Rose Wraith. Raúl Reyes. Saria Nicole Reyes. Aldo Suriel Reyes Labra. Giselle Ríos. Sergio Ríos. Alfredo Rivera. Jesús Daniel Rivera. Oscar Rivera. Samantha Michelle Rivera. Jesús Alessandro Rivero. Edgar Rodea. Ailey Fabiola Rodríguez. Brian Ali Rodríguez. Josué David Rodríguez. Mariana Rodríguez. Tania Rodríguez. Uraldo Rodríguez. Vin Judas Rodríguez. Álvaro Romero Lamas. Leonela Romo. Jaimín Rosales Ramírez. Daniela Ruelas. Macario Rufo. Caricia Mía Ruiz. Fernando Ruiz. Jazmín Ruiz. Leilani Daniel Ruiz. Lisbeth Ruiz. Tatiana Ruiz. Michael Daniel Sainz. Caxteni Salgado. Dayanara Salinas García. Jocelyn Salmón. Brandon Salvador Díaz. Gustavo Adrián Sánchez. Dylan Santamaría. Jessica Marie Santiago. Aldo Kevin Santos. Alexis June Shulk. Carlos Ángel Sepúlveda. Carlos Antonio Sepúlveda. Andrea Serrano. Sylvie Scorna. Jennifer Solano Beltrán. David Solís. Javier Solís. Christopher Diego Soria. Natalia Elizabeth Soto. Salvatore Eugene Stanfa. Erin Catherine Stanton. Catherine Zviahatek. Jacob Scott Ziel. Ángel Alonso Tinoco. Gabriela Isabel Torres. Hannah Grace Torres. Yasmín Danaí Torres Hernández. Taylor Kwok Tran. Hugo Ulloa. Jessica Uriostegui. Gianna Renee Vaccaro. Alonso Alberto Vara. Alan Vázquez. Melissa Vázquez. Daniel Vega. Jesús Velázquez. Devin Alexander Bensor. José Ángel Vera Soto. Iris Villagrán. Ángel Alán Villalba. Jazmín Villalba. Estefanía Villalobos. Jennifer Villalpando. Florel J. Orilio Viloria. Leonardo Christopher Bindel. Anthony Mark Volpendesto. Grace Margaret Walden. James Edward Larry Wright, Jr. Ada Zielinskate.
A big round of applause. All right, you did it. All right. So we want to thank all who took part in the ceremony this evening. Our Board of Education, our superintendent, our administration, our students, our faculty and staff, and our families. A special thank you to Gianna Cabrera for the amazing performance tonight. So we start the recessional. We ask that the audience remain seated until the graduates have exited. You can meet your graduates outside of the arena where the guests came in. And now, will the class of 2021 please stand, turn, and face the audience? Now this is the moment. Class of 2021, move your tassel from right to left. You are now alumni of West Leyden High School. Congratulations.
up here.